So this morning he catch us on a bit of a walk, and we're starting off not far from our house and heading up through the town, and this is going to be quite an interesting walk. The reason for this walk is we're actually doing one of the local circular walks, and the reason for this is because we need some exercise, and I'm bored of looking at the same part of the canal all the time. So me and Mrs. C again has decided to come out for a longer one, and I was scouring across the internet, got the OS maps out and looked up for Nantwich walks, and I found a couple of longer walks. This one is a 10k walk, like I said, 6.2 miles, something like that, 2-3 miles, but it's not, because we have to start from our house. We're not starting and finishing at the same place. So I've taken a screenshot of me watch, so I've got my stepometer on it and the time. We're not in a rush, this is not a race, it's a Sunday. It's about 20 past 10 when we left home, and my watch said 1,210 miles, I think it was, 1,210 steps, thereabouts. So I'm going to see how long it takes, where the walk takes us, but it's going to be more of an adventure like we're used to, because we're going to go across a few fields that we've never been across before, and the public bridle paths or the public walkways take you across the fields. I know roughly where they are, and I know where the canal is that we're going to. We're going to go to the Lancolin Canal. This is the Shropshire Union Canal, so we're going to go over to the other side, and we're going to come back to roughly where we were just now, and or even come back at the other end. So we're going across Dorford also. It's like a big figure of 8 maybe, and I'll show you it on the map if I haven't already shown you while we're talking. And yeah, let's see what we can find, see if there's anything for future photography. There's not going to be a lot of photography for today, so come with us, let's see where we end up, and let's see if we can find a field and try not to get stuck in it. Yeah, this starts off on the Nantwich Loop, and the Nantwich Loop is basically walk up the canal, you then go down the back behind the school, you go round onto the river, you can walk along the river, back round to the lake, cross the lake, up across the fields, come back round past the new estate. What's the new estate called? Any ideas? Malbank Waters. Get to Malbank Waters, walk round there, along the canal, and then back round to here. So that's your Nantwich Loop, which is quite a small, short walk. And like I say, this one's going to be a little bit longer.
When you think about it, it's quite lucky.
We are quite lucky. We've got some.
A river, a lake,
we have got a little bit around us. I'm not as lucky as some people that live in the Lake District or in the middle of the mountains that can walk out their back doors and go tramping up hillsides and stuff like that in these really epic, great locations. But I'm lucky to the fact I don't live in the middle of a city. I've got the canal, I've got a river, I've got the little lake, and we've got lots of countryside around us. So yeah, we're quite lucky that way. We're not stuck in between buildings like I know some people are. But I am missing the sea I am, and I'm missing the mountains and hillsides. I'm not missing walking up them, but I'm missing them. So we're just coming up to our first little pit stop that some of you probably recognise, which would be this bridge where I did me 2,500 steps from. So we're roughly 2,500 steps now, so that's a start. Not sure what that equates to in miles. It's definitely about a mile and a bit, I think, something like that. This shows you the junction box. Let's have a quick look at this down here. It tells you what canal we're on and the different mileage that we're going. So yeah, say goodbye to that first bridge, because we're going up to the next one, and that's where we'll make our way off the canal and through Acton. Just seen a little nut etch come down onto the table there. It was quite nice. This area now that I'm walking through, this is known as Nantwich Marina. As you can tell, all the boats and stuff that are moored up behind us are all the long boats or canal boats, or they're not barges, are they? Barges are for pushing things around. But yeah, this is Nantwich Marina. So if you're following me and you live in Nantwich, get to here and make a start from here, and we'll tell you where we're going. Find it and all. the thickness of the ice down here. Look at that piece down there. About an inch thick, that is. But we've obviously had a boat come through here and smash it all up. The wife's taking a picture. Look, she's got a camera out. Here she goes. First snap of the day. So we now made our way up to Bridge 93, and this is where we leave the canal and start heading up through Acton, through the little village or town. Well, it's not a town, it's a little village area. So we go up through Acton now. We'll go head towards Dorford Hall. Okay? Okay. So across the pathway, up through the little gate, and then round. Oh, the gate goes this way, dear. Up through the gate, up between the hedges, and then so you make your way up the road. It's a church tower. You can just see it at the top of the house there. So we're going to cross the road here and head up towards Dorford Hall entrance. So that's Acton Church, as you've seen in a recent video of mine when I come up and shot it 3 times in different ways. Bit of a challenge that I was led to do. These steps, this used to be an old inn, and those steps are where they used to climb up to get on the horses, or in the carriages, definitely get on the horses. So yeah, this has now been converted into accommodation, but yeah, we've got lots of little bits of history like that around Nantwich. Very quaint little bits of old style architecture. I like it. Right, we are now, if I flip you around, heading towards the entrance to Dorford Park. So we're going to head up this way now and up towards the cattle grid, and then we're going to cross the cattle grid and start heading in that direction up across the fields. So we've now made our way up to the cattle grid. Cattle grid's here, now we're heading that way up over the field. We've never been this way before, have we? So new adventures begin here. And the reason for walking along this path, and I'm not sure whether this path is the right path because it's either this side with the hedge or that side with the path on the other side of the hedge, but we are going in the right direction. But the reason for this scouting mission and this new adventure is I want to try and find some trees or a little bit of miniature woodland, and there are some little tiny miniature woodlands, and I'm talking tiny around me. There's nothing big, not without having to get in the car, which we're not supposed to be doing. So this is a bit of a scouting mission as well as a bit of an adventure. Oh, we've got to walk across some ice. One of us is going to end up on our bottom probably. Here we go. Let me spin you around and show you this. Here we go. See if we can fall on our arse. Oh! Woo! Right, we've made it. And now we could have been on the other side of the fence. Look, here's the gate and the hedge. No gate. So we're going to carry on across the field now, and this is where it gets a bit open and a bit nice. You see, it's nice and open. Look at the openness that we've got to walk across this nice field. So, but there's a bit of woodland there, you see, and I'd like to have a bit of a nose in that little bit of woodland, but I think that's private property. I need to get permission from the owner to have a little look in there, but I definitely fancy that. But look at the shape. I mean, even the shape of that and some of these lines in the field later on, when this all starts to grow, this is going to be pretty amazing. And there's some big bits of ice. Some of this is really thick ice. So let's see if we can see across this field. But look at this tree. That's a pretty awesome tree over there. So that's well worth an image with some pink sky behind it. But at the moment I'm kind of walking on crop area probably, so we need to make sure we stick to the muddy pathy bit. But this is obviously going to get really muddy, and it's nice because the ground's solid and frozen. But that's an awesome tree, that is. And you can just see the top of the church over the back there, which is quite nice. But can you feel rain? Looks like we're going to have to put our waterproofs on. It's starting to rain, so bear with us in a moment. We might have to just get ourselves covered up. I've actually found a photograph. Both me and Denise spotted it exactly the same time. Now I was looking at the tree behind me. You can just see the tree up there just above my shoulder. That would look pretty awesome. We just did a video yesterday actually where the sun was just coming up, and to get those two trees, let's just spin you back around again. See those two trees? You've got two trees behind me and you've got the church in the background. So if I've got a really nice bright sky, you know, a nice morning colour, which we had the other day, I could get here quite easily and quite quickly. So I could get a beautiful, beautiful, massive sky with those trees in it and the church. So that's given us one scope. But behind you now, I'm just going to flip you around. Behind you now, look at this for broken down business. Look at this older branch of a tree, all the bits sticking up, but because the field's an old cornfield and it's got all the fragments of the old corn that's been obviously harvested, it just looks really good. And by coming around here slightly as well, coming around here and maybe coming down a little bit lower, I can get all the sky and above it up the top there, and all this down the bottom, and all the sky, great big dark moody sky above it. So I think that would look pretty awesome in a photograph. So I'm going to bracket this to make sure I get all the dynamic range in. But yeah, just nice to be able to find a photograph. So let's just put you away, because I can't do two-handed, I can't do both things at the same time. I do miss having my tripod and my big M50 out. This little Osmo is growing on me for ease. Right, let's get a shot of this. Let's show you a photograph for at least one today.
I'm going to try my new Christmas toy.
The new Christmas toy. She's going to get a new wide angle lens on, and she's just fertling in a nice new fancy K&F bag that has been designed half for photography and half for carrying her clothes and sandwiches and packed lunching. And that was not a bad little open area. That we've definitely found a couple of spots for a couple of photographs now. That's one of the little woodland areas I was sort of mentioned, but it's not. They're not really accessible woods. I think they're all private property. That's half the problem we got. But never mind. It's worth a look. We've almost like walking through someone's garden now, which is a bit weird. It's definitely someone's garden. But that's what happens to these footpaths. A lot of these footpaths are through people's property, so you have to make sure you stick to the path and don't wander off. So yeah, we've come through this little gate. There's a few little lines of trees just here, and I think we're going to end up on the road by the canal entrance. So we've just come out at this little point here, Madam's Farm, and there's a signpost. This isn't the road I thought we were on, the canal road, so we must have to go across the next field. So we'll go across this stile and make our way on. The windmill's down that way, yeah, so it's got to be this way. Let's get a good lady wife over. You can see the signpost, which is just up here, so I thought I was further along than I was, and I wasn't, so we need to make our way probably around this field rather than across it. Let's have a little look, see. Now the pathway seems to go across here, so we'll make our way across the field, straight across there. Oh, it is, yeah, this is the woodland. Across that field, and turn right at the woodland, and then we're on the end of the canal that way. Yeah. Another open field, great for flying a drone around. This path's not so well marked out though. This is definitely walking across a field, which is fine. I've got no problems with that. I'm just going to see if I can spot a way of getting to that little bit of woodland to see if there's anything to photograph in the woodland. If not today, then another day. Right, so we've got to the next stile on the fence, so we're going to go over this one and over the next one and carry on across the road through the next one. This is quite good because I don't normally do these little adventures. God, this is a tight little one to get through. Ugh. Not much of a step to get through that one. Just watch the step, it's tiny. Watch your backpack don't bounce you off. Not really. Right, so now we're going to head to that one over there, and then we are definitely on the canal. I recognise the road from here. We are now up at the signposts for Acton and Lardley Green. We're going to go down on the canal, so this is where it's going to get a bit more picturesque again, hopefully. And this is the Llangollen Canal, and I do know there's a lovely little house that's just here. Look at this for a beautiful little house right on the canal. How nice is that? Right, down the steps we go. And this is the start of the Llangollen Canal. But what a beautiful house that is just there. Absolutely stunning. Bridge number 8. Yeah, what a stunning property that is. Beautiful. right on the canal. There's some really nice houses down here. Definitely back there, there's some gorgeous houses. We're just coming up to another bridge now. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, we're just coming up to another bridge now. You can see the bridge is there. And I think that's the first bridge you can go for a walk over, but it looks like there's a lock in front, which would be quite nice to have a look at a lock. Yeah, it's the name of this boat. I'll do it tomorrow. Definitely not today. So yeah, quite enjoying this because it's a little bit new, something nice to see, something different to see. And like I said, the houses down there with the moorings, private moorings, really, really pretty, really nice. You on the phone? Oh, she's on the phone. She's chops in. Right, I'll talk to you when I get to the lock. Bridge number 9. And yeah, there is definitely a lock just up there, so that's going to be interesting. I think this is one of the gate posts. You can go through this gate and walk across these fields back that way, but we're going a bit further along. Is it no public access, that one? Right, must be a bit further along. But yeah, let's go and have a look at this lock. There's got to be a picture here somewhere. Now I know this is probably a silly thing to say, but anyone in a different country might not know what a lock is. Basically, what these are designed to do is to lift the level of the canal from here to take you up and down hills. So when we get to this lock, which is going to be about 6 foot probably higher, and then sometimes you get more locks. We've got a place not far from us, a short drive, 10-minute drive away, which has got 16 locks, and it takes you from one level all the way up the hill to the next level. So this is what these locks are for, if you're never sure. They fill up with water and they lift your boat up, or they empty the water out and lift your boat down, and they're like steps that go through the canal. A bit of information for you. But how does the water get back to the top? I do want to know that. Someone tell me. Let's go and have a look on the other side. That's what these things are for, to get to the other side and have a bit of a nose. And there's an image that way. The water's rushing down the side down here. Lots of ice down the side as well, but that's a bit of a sluice to let the overflow through, but I quite like that. There's an image, a bit of an image there. Got the nice lock and the bridge. And the bridge that way is quite nice as well. So let's come back across here. I'm going to keep my hands holding on because I don't fancy falling in. But yeah, there's definitely a couple of shots here. So we'll get the camera out and have a couple of shots. Smarty Pants here has just found a really cool shot, and I'll just quickly show you it on the Osmo. And yeah, I've just taken something similar. Look at this, all these lines that are leading you in, and then the canal. So quite good that. But I'll speak to you when we get right up that end, when we get off the canal, and show you where we're going. What you spotted there?
Just a little tree there.
Oh yeah, a little tree with the reflection.
Be nice if
it was coloured, yeah, a little bit different. We just spoke to someone as we were walking along, and as you can see, I'm coming up to Bridge 11, and he just said, oh, the next stop, I said I want to get off to walk towards Ravensmore. So he said it's bridge number 12, so that saves me getting my map out of my pocket and having a look on my GPS, because at least I know where we are now. So we're at Bridge 11, and the next one is bridge number 12, so that's where we'll get off and start heading towards Ravensmore. Just having a look in here, keep looking through and keep having these little glimpses of interesting things as we go along the canal, but you just can't get the other side of the fence. So all the trees and stuff that I'm finding, you can't really shoot them. But yeah, if you can do this walk, get to number 12 and then you get off. As you can see by Denise's bag, that she's got her rain cover on now, and if I flip you around, I've got my raincoat on because it's suddenly changed and got very, very wet. So we're going to hide under this bridge for a couple of minutes. We've actually just come up to bridge number 12, where we're going to get off of the canal and start head across the fields or up towards the road. So I was going to get my drone out and fly it and show you where we are, but in the wind and the rain it's not a good idea. So I'm okay, I've got my waterproof on. Denise got me to pack her bag last night, but she neglected to give me the waterproof for it. So I'm going to get the map out. She's got her trousers, yeah. So there's the gate behind us here, and we're just going to stand on this bridge for a moment just while we get the map out, and I'll show you the map. and the route of what we're actually doing. Right, so we are. Let me just pull my finger out of my glove. Right, so we are now here. So we've started off down here, walked up the canal, then we walked up the side of the canal, which was there. We got to Acton. I did actually mean to go up there, but I forgot that bit. But we've never mind. I'll do it another time. We got to there. We walked through Acton. We turned right and went across the fields, which was there, and then up onto where we got our feet wet, down onto the canal there. We've walked along this little stretch down under the canal up to bridge number 12, and then now we're going to go across, straight across, find the pathway that leads us back round down onto this little road, and then we're going to follow the road down probably to somewhere around here, and then I'm going to try and cut across this one there and back across behind the farm, back through Dorford and round this way. Unless it's really raining heavy, if it is, we're going back onto the main road and we're going straight down towards home, depending on what we're doing. But that's our little route, and I'll put the link to where this is online so everyone can find it in the comments below. Up through the gate for the first stop, and then we're going straight across the field, across here, and then we're turning a right, and then the road's over that way somewhere, and then we're going to go back round. So let's get going. How am I supposed to get through this little gap? Oh my word. Oh. What a tiny little gap to squeeze through that is. Look at this one, nice little avenue of trees there as well. This would be quite cool on the right weather. Bit of fog. But one thing for sure on this walk, if you're going to do this walk in any other day other than frozen ground, is it's really boggy and muddy. There's an awful lot of mud around, but yeah, this is quite pretty, this little avenue of trees. I'll have the old one if you're having the new one. looks like this is the one that was really muddy and boggy, and this is why they put a new one in. So up over this old one, and she's going over the new one, and I'll get all muddy and squidgy. Ah! Is that nicer, that one? So we're definitely better coming over the new one. Coming over that one's a lot more boggier, but Denise picked the better one that time. Well done, you. So we're just making our way across this next little open field. Hard to see the path, but you can see where people have trodden on below us. And I wasn't on record, so I just want to say thank you to the people that put these walks online. I'll put the name up on the screen and description to where you find the website to get these prints off, to get the walks. And this is merely for our local home folk. Oh, dry mud, that's not so bad. Yeah, because I wouldn't have known about these if it weren't for finding them online. So yeah, thanks to the guys, whoever the name is up on the screen. And yeah, they are a bit slippy. So anyway, we're going to carry on because my battery's going on here, and I want to get to the end of the walk before this battery finishes. So I'm going to do less waffling and more walking. So we've now made it to tarmac. So we're walking on a bit of tarmac at the moment, which is a novelty, as we've been walking across mud and grass and stuff. So let's keep going this way. I think we go across the road now, across a couple of junctions until we get back to the Dorford Park. So we've just come out by the Farmer's Arms, as you can see here. There's the Farmer's Arms. So I'm just going to get my map out now and see where the walk goes, because I'm not sure if we go down onto the road and turn left at the road, or whether we go up there slightly and go through the field. So I'm just going to have a quick look and see. Yeah, well, that's a direct route. Right, so it is. We've come down past the pub and we walk along the main road. So it's not as scenic, this part, but we know where we are, and this is the end of the route anyway after the scenic bit. So we're going to walk along here, cut through up towards Dorford Hall, back round Dorford Hall, and that should get us quite a few miles on our belts then. One thing to be noted while we're coming along there is there's no actual footpaths, so you've got to walk along the road, and this is a 60-mile-an-hour road along here. So yeah, if you're going to do this walk and you've got young kids, make sure you keep them on a leash. That's we're just discussing, we've got to either walk down the road, cross the bridge, carry on down the road and then hang a left, or we've just found a public walkway through this gap in the hedge. So I think we're going to head through this hedge and see where it ends up. And if it does end up anywhere interesting, I'll put it on the map for you so you know where it is we're going. But I'm hoping, if I just poke through this little gap in the hedge, there's a stile here. Stile or stile? Stile. I'm going to head over the top, try not to fall, because when you've got a bag, when you've got your bag on your back, oh, camera's lost me. Where are you? I'm down here. Woohoo! Yeah, when you've got a bag on your back, it's easy to get pushed off. So, yeah, we're going to head along this field and see where it takes us, so we're not actually on the road, because I want the adventure to begin. I want the adventure to carry on. Now we really are on an adventure. So as you can see, we're now off the main road. We're going across this field, and it's definitely nicer than walking down the road, especially when it's a 60-mile-an-hour road. And we've got some barbars in the field as well. And I've seen the gate. I can see it from through the trees just there that we're heading towards. So that's our next stile to get over. And I'm hoping it's going to bring us back round this way and over that direction. Okay, dear, next one. Up and over. Oh. Oh. Another tight one to get through. Whew. That was a bit short-lived. Just come across that little field and we're back on the road again. So I'm going to cheat. No, I'm not, because the gates are to open. Let's back over the stile. I've never been over so many stiles, dear. Oh, it's not looking at me, it's looking at me feet. Right, so I think we're on Tally-Ho Lane now. And I'm hoping I'm going to find a path that's going to lead me back that direction in a minute, because I want to be over there where the farm is. Alright, so we've come to a T-junction now. So our slight detour brought us round the lane, and we think this one's Tally-Ho Lane, is it? So we're going to head this way now. We know where we are. We're going to head this way, and I'm going to try and get round onto the farm if I can. That takes you where we sort of started. So, right. Just catching up with the wife. I've been back for the camera again, and so she said her legs ache, bless her. We've done more walking she has today than she's done in a long time. Lip seal time, is it?
Lips are dry and yucky.
I'm enjoying this though. Definitely enjoying being out. We've been out quite a long time now. And it's just non-stop walking. They're farmers' tracks, and I think that's a farmer's gate.
I like the
Oh, you like the tracks going in? Yeah. It's a farmer's gate though, that one. We can't go in there, even though the gate's left wide open. So right, we're going to walk around this lane, and then we are going to cut through to the left and go back round through Dorford. And by then we will be well and truly walked out. Just stopped on this little bit here, so I like this little scene just here. This would be really nice if it was snowing. That'd be a nice little S-line leading up to the trees over there, but no good today when it's just grey and overcast. Oh. Taking your hat off, let some hair in. It's coming up past the farm now. We should be hanging a left any minute now and walking back across the fields. This is Dig Lane Farm, so anyone that knows Nantwich, you know where we are. Oh, definitely know I've been out for a walk today though. I can feel it on my legs. Can you feel it on your legs, dear?
Yeah, feel it on my legs.
Legs, hips, buttocks. Just what the doctor ordered though, get some air in your lungs, bit of country air. Here comes a spot of rain again. Gonna get a bit wet. Time to zip the coat up. Right, so I found another signpost just here, so we're gonna hang a left here. This should take us round the back of the field now, so let's go and have a look, see where this one's going. Hopefully we're going to go down and then across to the right. You're alright there. You make sure when you get home you get that ironing sorted and my lunch ready for tomorrow, won't you? Well, it is Valentine's after all. Right, so a quick pit stop, I think. Time for a brew. I can see the back of the farm now. Anyway, that's where we're going, over that direction, which is behind you guys watching me. But I think I'm going to put this charger away. I remembered I had a charger in my pocket, in my bag, so I'll put my charger away. I'm going to get my coffee out, get my sausage rolls out the back, feed the poor wife, let her have one or two of her Valentine's chocolates, and then we're going to carry on round. Well, let you.
Yeah. What you don't know. Well, you've been walking on about.
She's probably been eating them all as I've been going. Right, I need to get out of here, so one bag off and the other bag off. I'm going to put my coat away now. Too hot with two coats on. I'm even going to take my gloves off, let my fingers out. I bet this is turning into an epic vlog, isn't it? The big figure of 8 of Nantwich. So we've refueled, so we're on the last little bit now. And I will put, like I said, I'm sure I've mentioned it already, I'm going to put a map at the end and I'll draw on it the whole direction of where we've been, just so anyone fancies doing this can get on and do this walk as well. And like I say, this is more for my home Nantwich. I'm going to be putting it on the Nantwich Facebook page, and it's not really a big epic photography vlog that we normally do, but still, it's definitely something. And I can definitely see the back of the dairy farm now, and the footpath that's going to take us round there. Another style, another 2 style. You watch your back. We're doing all right. I've never done so many styles. A double whammy. Over one. That's a long way down, and over the next.
Now I'm scuppered.
Up and over. I think styles are designed to turn as you go over, but it's never that easy when you've got your camera bag on. So that there is the back of the dairy farm, Dorford Dairy Farm. Have your pants fallen down? She thinks her pants are falling down.
Oh no, I don't think they were.
Oh, they were?
But now, I've gone up my
Hey dear.
coat to sort the pants out.
This is what we're normally up to. This is the bit I miss going out with the wife, because we always get a giggle out of it. She's pulling up her trolleys. Hey dear. Now I'm going to hang a left through the gate, and we're going to end up back in a little woodland where I've been to before. She's just checking her steps. How many steps, dear? 16 or 15,000? Oh. Where is she? Here she is. I know, it's getting windy now, isn't it? Windy and horrible, but I know exactly where I am anyway, so we're not lost. Yeah, alright. Yeah, there's a little woodland just here. We're going to walk back through this little bit of a woodland, and I know that anyone that's seen my back history would have seen this little bit of woodland before in videos that we walked around. Whew. I bet this is a muddy field when it's muddy. Look at all these patterns. Look at all these patterns down here, walking across. This is all leftovers from the corn, the big cornfield. So it's pretty good. Say again. You like these lines? Get your camera out then. It just looks derelict, doesn't it? It just looks left, derelict and abandoned. I think she's going to get the camera out again. I've got a biscuit in my mouth. It's rude to talk while you're eating. She's getting the camera out. I quite like that derelict look. That abandoned roughness. So how many of you have actually stayed with me and watched all the way through this vlog so far, or this video? I'm sure there's not many. Hey, I like that car. Those tyre tracks going around that way. Hang on, we've just been disturbed. The tracks going to it. No, I don't like. I'm not so keen on the tracks going to it. See these tracks going to this tree here. We're just discussing this at the moment. I like this swell, but I'm sure there's way better things to do than look at that. Sure there is. Right, we're just going through the next gate now, and back through this little tiny bit of woodland. So I'm sure it's been a massive long vlog, but if you're bored and you're stuck at home and you've got nothing to do, at least we're entertaining you, aren't we? Come on, dear, kissing gate. Let's have one for the record books. That's quite nice as well. Look at this. Let's spin you around if I can. Look at this. I like this.
It needs somebody with a little red
track
cape.
going down there. They could do with someone down the end there, but
red cape. With
we'll do that walk another time. We'll go down and have a look and be a nosy down there and see what's down there. But this is the little woodland that we walk through, and we've been through here a few times. But it's tiny little minuscule woodland. This is what I miss, these woodlands, don't you? Going through a nice bit of wooded area. Oh God, I got some mud on my feet. I nearly slipped then.
That's what I was just looking at. I stood in something up there.
No, I've got a layer of mud on my feet. Definitely taken on a bit of mud on me boots. I've got a layer of mud on my boots from that field, and it's dead slippy. Trees! Look at the trees.
That is.
Right, we are now out the other side. You're going to wash them boots off, mind the ice.
Yeah, no, it is nice.
Just going to give our boots a bit of a spruce. We're going back across the tarmac now, so we should be able to get her off, but we've got some mud on our feet and it ain't half slippy. It's not as slippy as in the mud as well. So out of the woodland, hang a left and across Dorfwell Park, and the gate's been left open. I don't know why the gate's left open. I'm sure it shouldn't be left open. I'm going to close it anyway because it's a cattle grid.
Yeah, it is.
And that should be a gate that's closed, I'm for sure. Anyone that knows anything about the countryside. So yeah, we're now on the Dorfwell Park, back virtually where we started. So I'll talk to you when we get back to that cattle grid the other end. Anyone recognise them trees? I did a video here a little while ago where I had that tree and the sun was coming up over there.
Your power line.
Your power lines, you've had power line photographs as well here, haven't you? This is a simple walk. If you just wanted to do a nice simple walk, you come along here, carry all the way around, you go down the canal and all the way back round. It's a big loop. But the one we've done is a much nicer walk. So we are coming up to the cattle grid now, where we hung a right in the first place, and we headed up across the fields over up on that way. So we made it back this far, which is good. A little bit of guesswork for the off the beaten track signposts, but I had a rough idea where the pigeons fly. So
the tracks are actually
they're marked pretty well, aren't they? We're just guessing that they were going round to the right because I've looked at enough maps to work out that I think it was going that direction. But yeah, they're all well marked and they're good little footpaths. So I think anyone would enjoy this walk. We've done 18,000 steps, or no, about 17,000 steps or something so far. So we should have 20 by the time we get home. So I thought we were going to back down the main road, but the good lady wife said no, we're going to go back down the canal. So we're going to head back past Acton Church and this little pub that we talked to at the beginning, and we're going to go back down the canal. So when we get to the canal,
you can actually prove how long you've been out, because when we came past
at the church, yeah, you'll be able to see the bell on the church. So you'll see how long it's taken us to walk around this loop by looking at the bell on the church, looking at the clock on the church when I show you in the video. And if you didn't see it the first time round, you have to scan back now and find out what time it was. 11 was it?
Something like that, I think.
Let's get across this road. That guy in that red car has driven up here to go for a walk down the back of Dorford. Why didn't he actually drive, leave the car at home and go for a walk from his house? You're doing well, dear. You're keeping going.
I am tired. I'm not going to
She's tired now. Yeah, but I was saying about people and driving. I don't understand why people have to drive their cars when we've been asked not to. When you can actually get on these walks. We'd have walked nearly 7 miles by the time we got back. And we haven't even been out in the...
been outside of Nantwich.
No, we haven't walked around that. We've just walked around from our house. And we've been around a big circular walk, which is nothing really. And it's, yeah, keep all the rules, keep away from people, crossing the road where we can, other side of the paths and all that sort of stuff. So if everyone did that, I'm sure this problem would be over a lot quicker than it is. Really. Leave your cars at home and go for a walk from your house. Spa days, you've got your spa days to have, haven't you? Just talking and shops, and she's got her spa days to have. Right, we're back, remember this bit? Back on the path. Where she got the gate wrong. Yeah, just been talking. She's got 2 spa days to have, and I've got a toboggan run or something. Toboggan run that I got for Christmas. So, oh, and a helicopter ride we've got to have and all. We've got loads of things we've had to do. Everything's been postponed. Through the gate. Oh, through the gate. Nearly back on the canal. I'm sure loads of you are asleep by now. I'll skip through it just to see if we took any pictures. The tour of Acton to Ravensmore to Dorford, back to the marina and home. Oh god, yeah, loads of birds in the feeders. The little finches and things, aren't they? Oh, aren't they pretty?
They're well cute.
They're like little white heads on them. Oh, white and pink. Oh, that's well pretty. Never seen them before.
I wonder what they are.
Don't know. If you know what the little white and pink birds are, let us know, people. They're well nice. Come on, let's not stop. We'll never get moving again. They are pretty, haven't they? Definitely feels like I've done a few miles. And if you're still with us, you can see we're now back at Nantwich Marina where all the boats are parked up. We took a picture of the ice earlier on, and it's raining again now, so this little Osmo's not great in the rain. And me and the wife are flagging a little bit now. Well, I'll not say flagging, but we definitely never had a long walk. We're going to head up the canal now, head on back round, and when we get to the end of the canal, I'll switch you back on and say goodbye. Come on, dear. Oh. She'll be under the bridge now looking for me, you see. Did you miss me? Come on, nearly home in a cup. I'll make you a cup of tea.
You heard that? He will make
I'm going to make her a cup of tea.
because you want me to make the dinner.
Yeah, you're doing dinner, so I'm doing a cup of tea. We have made it back to the little bridge, looking over the top of Nantwich town. So this is the aqueduct, or the viaduct, or aqueduct, or whatever it is. So we're not far away now. So any minute now I'll switch it back on and check out, but it's turned really grimacy and wet. It is absolutely pouring down, absolutely levering. I'm trying to turn the camera around so you can see me. Yeah, it's raining now, and it's proper rain and it's proper wet, and the camera is going all over the place. It doesn't know what to do with itself. But we both just said we've got our camera gloves on. These are the Valerets. These are my finger popping Valerets, and Denise has got hers on, her Nordics. And her hands have been warm all day, We've got our Rav jackets on, so we've had thermal coats, you know, everything's warm and toasty. We've got decent trousers, decent boots, decent socks. So we've actually thoroughly enjoyed the walk, because it's only when everything's wet then it becomes an issue. And we're dry, relatively dry, and no matter how much the wind gets up, we're still warm. So that's what it's about. As long as you're warm and toasty on the inside, it doesn't matter what the outside's doing. My God, it's raining now, and it's blowing right in our face, so God only knows what this audio's like at the moment, but it's proper rain, it's proper wind, and it's stinging the old cheeks as it's hitting you in the face. So it's really slowed us down a bit. So we're just going to back off the pace a little bit now, because we're really not far from home. So I hope you've enjoyed this walk with us. It really was just taking you on a bit of a walk out with me and Mrs. C. A bit of a jaunt, a bit of exercise, a little bit of viewing time, and hopefully a couple of photographs, even if they're just record shots. But it's been a long walk. It's been pretty good, and she is flagging now, so it's time to slow the pace down, enjoy the last 5 minutes, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my other stuff. We've got lots of landscape photography, and if you are a local Nantwich person and you've been watching this, check out some of the other days out that we've had in Wales and the Peak Districts and the Lake Districts and things like that. You might enjoy watching them, and if you do watch them, leave us a comment. Love reading them. So we're going to say goodbye now, because I think enough's enough. This video's probably been about an hour long. The battery's nearly flat. We're getting wet, but the camera's getting wet, so I'm going to put it away, and I'm just going to have a last 15 minutes walk home in a peace and quiet. So till next time, ciao for now. Thanks for watching, and if you have stuck through this, please leave me a comment, and we'd love to hear your comments, even if it's just a chat. We'd love to chat back. See you soon. Bye. Say bye. Bye. Bye.